All right. This is Aurora. You have a baking company or baking. What is your baking company name? Or do you have a baking company or just Aurora? Or I know Sugary Dreams.
It's called Sugary Dreams, yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like, I remember, I think I was in the 6th or 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Like since young, I always knew I wanted to bake and stuff. So every time I would be in art class, anytime like a project was assigned, I would always like revolve it around baking. So we had did like this project of like symmetry, and then she said to draw like anything that came to mind. So I always would draw like cupcakes or like, just little pastry stuff. So my mind was always revolved around that. And then when I was young, I came up with the name Sugary Dreams. So I just thought like, when I did start my business, I should just keep it to what I originally planned.
Right. Okay. Cool. Cool. Um, what I know you said early on you decided that you wanted to bake, and well, what specifically made you want to bake? Like, do you remember a certain thing, a certain feeling, a certain?
Um, it was mostly influenced by my cousin because she would bake like at home and stuff, and I'd also be in the kitchen with like my aunts.
Mm-hmm.
And then while my cousin would grow like her interest towards baking, we'd watch the show called The Cake Boss, and we would watch it together. So that became like a weekly thing for me. So I think through that show, like I also was just more intrigued by it. So yeah, that's what influenced.
Okay. Very nice. What would you say is a difference between cake decorating and every other art form?
Um,
If that's too broad, you know.
like what do you mean? Like
So like what makes it if it is art to you, what makes it art?
I think like the client bringing their design and then you bring to like basically that.
I like that. I like that, yeah. Is there a certain way you go about it? Do you give a process or does it change between each client?
So to start, like whenever a client comes to like ask for a cake, I always ask for like if they have any pictures, like photo inspirations or photo references of what they want it to look like, because they'll give specific like talk about a design, but I feel like just having a picture is a better reference to look at. So yeah, that's mostly what I use.
What was the process of becoming where you are now, as far as level, I guess?
So I would bake at home, like for my family and stuff. I would do like family parties. I would do everybody's birthday cake, or I would just bake at home. And then sometimes I would bake and then like I'd end up throwing it out just because nobody um would eat it or anything like that. But I would just bake just to bake, just to be doing it just for the experience and things like that.
That's how you know you really like it, though.
Yeah.
Like you love it, and,
Mm-hmm.
and so you practice on your own. You kind of.
I practiced on my own and then I went to culinary school.
Ooh,
Yeah.
where'd you go?
I went to Kingsborough.
Kingsborough. Where's that at?
It's like by Oriental Boulevard, like by Manhattan Beach.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went there and I originally went for culinary arts, so I would do like a mixture of cooking classes and baking classes. But I didn't really enjoy the cooking aspect. I just solely wanted to focus on the baking. So I had to change my major like mid-semester
Okay.
to just baking. Yeah. And then that's what I do. We did like cake decorating classes in there. And then from there, I would also work in like bakeries.
How many bakeries did you work in?
So I used to work at some place called B Cake NY, and then I also worked at Circle's pastry shop. And then at B Cake, I started off like as a stacker. So all I did was just like stack the cake. So like the cake filling, cake filling, cake filling, and then ice it, and then leave it for the cake decorators to do.
So there's different.
There's
like,
different
stations.
stages, yeah, different positions.
Like how many stages did you go to before you were kind of doing your own?
So, like originally when I got there, the person that hired me, she already knew that I didn't really have like that much knowledge on like cake decorating, but I told her that I would do stuff at home. So you know, at home you don't really know like the proper steps or anything like that. So I learned like on the job. There is a guy that used to work there, and he was really nice. He would always like take the time to stop what he was doing to teach me things or like help me perfect or like teach me little tricks. So I always was just willing to learn. And then yeah, like that's how I got better. Just like I was a stacker I think for like 2 years until they let me decorate cakes.
2 years?
Yeah, I think it was like a year and a half or something.
Yeah,
it was like a while that I
yeah.
stuck through it.
Well, that's good though.
Yeah.
You persevered. You because you knew that's where you wanted to go. I mean, like at the end of the day, you wanted to make your own cakes. So
Yeah.
how did that step go? How did that make you feel? Like when you like how did that happen? How did that go about? Did they come to you and like, hey, you're doing great, you're doing beautiful, like here, start doing cakes.
So no, I feel like in the beginning I would get like frustrated because I felt like I was doing the same thing over and over for so long. And after a while, like after you do something for a while, like you know, you just get better at it. And then I felt like I was already at the point where like you can't get any better than just stacking cake and then like making it smooth. I wanted to do more and stuff. So
Right.
yeah, I would ask my boss to let me like decorate basic cakes, like just buttercream cakes. And then from there, they would see my work and then they would move on to like more custom, like birthday cakes or specific stuff like that.
Well, what's your favorite thing about decorating cakes?
My favorite thing, I don't know, I think just the process, like seeing it from being, trusting the process the whole time. Because sometimes I'll like do something and then like while I'm doing it, I don't think it's gonna come out how I want it to. And then at the end, like it does come out, like yeah.
So it's like it's also that kind of feeling where it's like I don't know if this is gonna be okay right now,
Right.
but I want to push through it and I want to see what the end result is. And then
Yeah.
most times you ultimately like the end result, or is it 50-50?
I feel like sometimes I'm kind of hard on myself. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, yeah.
Like when I'm doing things, I don't know. I feel like it could have done better, or I always try to find something that I think I can improve. But for the most part, yeah, I think I'm content with how things come out.
Fantastic. I mean, because I know me, I can understand that kind of concept because I'm with all the stuff that I create, I had the same feeling. So I think it's normal as an artist.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself as an artist?
Mm.
I mean, cause I know, that should be my first question that I ask you, because that's how I view you, to be honest. But
I don't know. I in the beginning I didn't view it like that, like, cause my friends would say like you make art or like it's a form of art, but I thought in the beginning it was more broad, like just drawing and being good at like doodles and stuff like that. But yeah, there's different forms to it. So yeah, I think I would consider myself an artist now.
okay,
that I
nice.
talk about it.
I like that. So did you like? Was there a point that you kind of changed, like your mindset changed, or was it like? I feel like I don't mean to take the credit here. I feel like it was mid conversation right here. You were like, yeah, I'm alright. But no, like genuinely, do you feel like there was a point a year ago, 2 years ago, year and a half ago that you were, or 6 months ago, you were like, hey, I'm actually doing this. This is an art form. I'm an artist.
Yeah, I think it was when I would start doing more like the custom cakes rather than just this, because I feel like this is anybody can learn this, but it's more so like the sculpting aspects, or like yeah, I feel like that's what it is, the sculpting or like the more harder ideas.
Wow, that is gorgeous. What type of frosting do you prefer to use?
Okay, so originally I would use like American buttercream, but just recently I made a cake for my friend, and then she asked for Swiss meringue buttercream, and I would only make that like in school. Preferably people just ask for like regular buttercream cakes or like whipped cream. So when she asked for that, I made it, and I tasted it, and it tastes way better than American buttercream. So that's what I've been using so far.
Really?
Yeah, Swiss meringue buttercream.
Swiss meringue butter.
Yeah,
That's
so the
fire.
difference is that the American buttercream is just all butter, sugar, and vanilla, versus the Swiss meringue, you use egg whites. You use granulated sugar instead of powdered sugar, and then yeah, you have to whip the egg whites to cook it at a certain temperature with the sugar, and then from that you have to you put it in a mixer and then put the whisk attachment and just incorporate air to create the meringue, and then once the meringue is made, like you'll go from like liquid and then you add air, and then it'll fluff up, and then from there you add the vanilla, and then you add your butter, and then you have Swiss meringue.
Oh wow! She
Yeah.
just gives a whole rundown, a whole. Man, I'm look back at that and I'm gonna take. We gonna make that at home. Shoot. Okay. So you mentioned school, so I just want to go like visit that real quick.
Yeah.
How different do you? I mean, I'm not sure if you went to both. Just that specific art, culinary school, or did you go to like a community college too as well? Do you have that?
Yeah, so Kingsborough is a community college,
Oh,
and,
okay.
and that is like one of the majors that they offer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, but you did do regular classes there, so
Yeah.
What? So comparing those classes to your regular classes, so like, how much more did you love culinary?
I would always look forward to that class. Like that's the class I'd like want to be in versus like English or math or whatever. I'd obviously pay attention, but yeah, my favorite classes were mostly the culinary arts because it's hands on versus
Right.
like just sitting in the classroom listening to a teacher writing notes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like that. I like that. I did you? How many classes did you take? Like, was it just one, or was it just, it was multiple, or was it? And you, well, I mean, your degree was in that, so it had to be a couple.
Yeah. Yeah, it was multiple. So you would start off like for culinary arts, you would start off with like a knife skill. So it's like you learn different size cuts, so like small dice, medium dice, large dice. Yeah, they teach you like how to properly use a knife. You just learn. You get familiar with the kitchen and like the professional equipment that's in the kitchen. You learn safety in the kitchen, stuff like that, and then you move on to like the cooking. And yeah, they offered like the baking classes too, so you would like do pastries and stuff. But if you were just a culinary arts major, then you would do a mixture of the cooking and baking. But if you just focus on baking, then you were offered like the sugar classes, the chocolate classes, and then yeah, like those are offered to students that just focus on the baking.
So all that training kind of prompted you. Do you feel like you are where you need to be at as far as a baker, or do you think that you're always learning?
I feel like yeah, there's always space to improve. I'm always learning, willing to learn actually too. So yeah, there's always space for improvement. And that's what I look for, like with customers. I usually love, well not usually, I love when they like they'll message me about the cake, like how it tastes, or like the fact that like what makes me feel the most is when they go out the way to message me, and then they'll be like, oh, like the cake was gone, or like people were asking about your cake and stuff like that. Like that means a lot whenever they do that.
I mean, what do you hope to? What's your future? Like, what do you want to do? Like,
So-
where you want to go?
Originally, what it still is, I want to have like my own business, but working with the job I have now, like I interact with some of the students that go to the culinary program, and then like I've always, when I was younger, I've also worked like multiple jobs that were like surrounding students. So sorry, I lost my train of thought, but yeah. So in the beginning, like the goal is to have like my own business, my own store. But I think now I also want to probably go to school to like get a teacher's degree. And I feel like once I get enough experience in the field, or feel like I've fulfilled like learning, I want to pass it on to others. So like what better way would be than to like go back to the school that I learned at and then teach the kids and do what I do. So I think that's how you show that you mastered something, when you're able to pass it on to somebody and they could learn from you.
I agree. I agree. That's really good. That's really good. I love that answer. And that's an amazing thing to do actually. Like that's wow. That was, but that's a way to give back, honestly.
Yeah.
But not even just that. It's like you really want to. You really love this enough to teach it to other people and you know have that patience with people.
Yeah.
That's. Do you want to own your own baking business as well?
Yeah. So from now, I feel like, right now I just work at home, but yeah, I would prefer to have like a storefront so I can have like bigger space, more clientele, more faces. Yeah.
That's great. That's absolutely. I'm not. Nah, do you ship? Do you ship?
No, I haven't.
You never shipped the cake?
Never have. I've had somebody drive from the farthest customer I've had was like somebody drove from I think like Philly or something to get like a cake for me.
So
But no, I never shipped.
Who's cake? Who is that? Who's that cake for?
This?
Yeah.
For us, for everybody here.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
It's a vanilla cake and then the filling is like a strawberry preserves that I did over the stove.
Oh, she's here. No. No, she didn't. No, that's hard. That's hard. So, are you willing to, let's say if somebody wanted to, like, pay you to teach them how to do what you do right now, online, whatever, in person?
Okay, that's so funny that you talk about that. Because I actually have people like that would message me and be like, oh, like you should start classes or something. And I've talked about it, my friends, like hosting. Like, you know how people do sipping pains? I've thought about hosting like where people come and like they decorate cakes and things like that. But because I'm so shy and so reserved, like I don't want to put myself out there just yet. Or like, yeah, it goes back to the same thing. Like sometimes I'm hard on myself and I'm like, am I like even ready to teach or like host something like that? Yeah.
Right. Oh wow, yeah, no, but that's even being honest about it, you know, and but just being like I think that's a very brave thing to do because as an artist we all feel like that and but the difference is people don't say it, they don't acknowledge it, so that it's not made a norm. It's not like a normal thing for us to be okay with not quite knowing if it's ready yet, but also maybe taking a leap. You know, are you ready to take that leap? Do you think you're ready to take that leap? Are you making that leap with this interview?
Yeah, for sure.
I think I have one more question. All right, we have a suggestion. What was your, if you were to say, if you could describe a story or a time,
right,
where it was I made it. You were like, okay. No.
My made it moment.
Yeah, I made it. Yeah.
So I remember one time, I had reached out to like a couple people, like a couple celebrities, like just to like talk about like if they're ever in New York or they need somebody to like cater to their event. So like I had a portfolio already, and in that portfolio I just included like what I thought were like the best showcase cakes to show off or whatever. And then I remember I woke up to so in the email I would include like what I could do, what I could offer, packages, and I included my personal number. And then I woke up one time and then I got a text message. I don't know if you're familiar with Ella, A Boogie's girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
So they are doing like her daughter Melody was having her, I think she was turning 6, birthday party in her class. So she responded to my email and then said like, hey, I know this is last minute, but do you think you can do this, that, and the third? So I jumped on the opportunity, obviously, and then like I feel like that was probably my immediate. Like when I was in the car on my way there delivering it, I was like, I'm really going to A Boogie's house right now to deliver cookies, cakes, and everything. Like
that is.
And in that midst, it was also Valentine's Day weekend, so I was still like besides that order I had, I still had like chocolate covered strawberries that I had to do for other people, or like chocolate covered crispies, like like
Right.
regular orders that I had sampled to show off, and then that came out of the blue. So like I
Right.
had to prepare myself for that too. Yeah.
So like, you kind of showed yourself that you could actually do it and
Yeah.
hold up under the pressure.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's nice.
I tried.
That is a year I made it move.
Yeah.
So now you know you can do anything. Now you know you can do anything. Literally anything. And that's and I'm not sugarcoating that. That's true.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're one hell of an artist. Just continue doing you. Yeah. I can't say what to do, but I mean, I think it's a good idea. Yeah. So this is Aurora.
Aurora.
My art. Yeah. Aurora.
Yeah.
Aurora. You've been fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. You're fantastic. You're brilliant.
Thank you.
You're great. Please, everything's gonna be in the description. We're gonna eat this today, and I'm gonna walk it off. I'm gonna walk it off, walk it back home.
Yeah.
But please go buy something. Go order a cake. Go help her. Check her out. Get something from her so she can do more of that.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's been great. And yeah. I mean, do we need a closer look at that real quick? Ooh.
Should I come up with it?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, please. Wow, that is amazing. That's insane. That's insane. Wow. Okay. Great. You've been great. You've been fantastic.